Hi, everybody. This is Beauty and Brains with Dr. Zuri Dale. And on the Beauty and Brains podcast, we talk about all things beauty, science, wellness. And the conversation today is about being that girl, right? So we hear the phrase that girl. I feel like that girl is like a catchphrase that has like blown up, right? Like we've always felt like we were that girl, but I feel like women are so much more comfortable now owning it, embracing it, and defining themselves as that girl. And when I thought about this episode, I'm like, who can I get to come and speak about what it means to truly embody being that girl, confidence, success? And you were like one of the first who came to my mind. I'm like, I have got to get Rosa on to talk about being that girl because you truly are that girl to me.
Thank you. You that girl.
Thank you, girl. So let's like really get into it. So personally, how would you define the term that girl and what does it mean to you?
I feel like that girl is somebody who's true to themselves, who know themselves inside and out, somebody who's authentic. And one of the other things I thought about when I think about being that girl is being an inclusive girly. Like, I love a girl that loves to hang around other girls that's that girl. You know?
That's that girl. Right. They're not intimidated by other that girls.
Yeah. Because it be like that.
It be like that.
Like, you usually see like a that girl or it girl in her surroundings or her friend group. It's like she's the strongest one.
Mm-hmm.
So I love when I see like strong, powerful females and they have a group of strong, powerful female friends. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So with that, do you think anybody can like embody what it means to be that girl? Or is it something like you either born with it or you not?
I think that everyone has the capability of being that girl, but I don't feel like everybody is that girl. Because it's like that phrase is like, it's in you, not on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I've been around people who I was like, ooh, they that girl because they look like that girl.
Yeah, but then when you meet them,
they don't act like that girl.
Yeah, you meet them and they're really not all that they post to be. They're not
Very
all
much
that you think that they are. And I feel like social media has really tried to shape and portray what that looks like versus what it really is.
And yeah, like I feel like you can't look like a girl because you can be a fashion girly.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh yeah, she that girl because I like the way she dressed. Mm-hmm. But I think it's more of like what you do, who you are, who you impacted.
And how you treat people, how you speak about people. I have met some beautiful people, right? Or at least outwardly, I thought that they were beautiful girls. And then I met them. And once I saw the way they behaved, the lack of concern for other people, the way that they treated other people, it actually changed the way they looked physically to me. Has that happened to you where like you thought somebody was so cute, but the way that they acted made them physically like look different to you? I don't know if that's like a mind thing. I don't know what that is, but a person.
Every day.
Yes, it's every like day. You don't even look the same to me anymore, because of how you act.
Yeah, and I work in a service industry, so I'm touching women like every day, lots of women. So it's some people I get excited to meet. I'm like, oh my God, I get to service this person. I see people walk into my salon. They have business owners, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, whatever, and I'll be excited. And I'm like, some people just don't have it, and that's okay too, because it's space for anybody to be that girl, but everybody can't go. To that level of just knowing how to be a nice girl, an inclusive girl, a positive girl. So it's a lot of good people you're gonna meet. I'm like, she's a little hater.
Yeah, she really is a hater.
She really a hater, but and that's okay.
And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So let's talk a little bit about you. Talked about your business, and so one of the things that I admire about you, because I have a beauty business as well, and I want to talk a little bit about yours. Though you are actually not from Houston,
no,
and so the reason why I feel like it's so important to talk about your personal journey in the context of this conversation is because it's easy to be who you think you are in a place that you've always been. Right? Like, I could pat myself on the back and say, oh, girl, like, you are doing it. But when I look at people like you who are not from here, who left a place that they're accustomed to, that they are used to, and they came and built, just kind of implanted and built an empire somewhere else, like, that kind of embodies some of the qualities that I think that girl is. Like, that's resilience. That is, like, discipline. That's confidence. And, I always think to myself, well, if I ever wanted to move somewhere, it's not just about me moving Zuri. It's like, artistry by Zuri got to come too. And when would I be able to build all this somewhere else? Yeah. But you have like, I've checked the stats. Okay. I've checked the stats. You have like really built a whole thing like in a place that you are not even from. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think that I was young and I was hungry. And I always tell people, like, moving from Detroit, coming to Houston, I didn't have a lot of baggage. Like, I built my life here. I came here as a child. So I was young and I was ambitious, and I didn't have anybody to distract me because I left everything and everybody behind. So it's usually hard for people to come. Like, when you're older, you married, you already established, so we get scared of leaving our safety net. That's what it be about. It's like, it's not what's ahead. You like, oof, I'm gonna have to do all this, and then my kids gotta come. I'm gonna have to try to find another. We have so much baggage. When I came, I was 19. So all I thought about was like, I gotta leave Detroit because I need better opportunities. And so when I came here, I was catching a bus. I wasn't afraid of like not staying in the bus because I didn't have nobody like, oh, girl, she's staying over there. A lot of times people not reaching new heights because they're just ashamed of what everybody else gonna think. I was in tunnel vision mode and nobody knew me. So I had a great fresh start of being able to hustle, grind. And when you go places and you by yourself, it's a whole nother beast that come out of you because you don't have a group of people to hang with. Everybody you meet is a new phase, an opportunity. And so Houston has really embraced me, took me in, molded me, turned me into not only just a businesswoman, but a mother and a woman. I was a teenager when I came here. Now I'm a woman, so the journey of being a business owner and coming here and building things from scratch, this was the perfect place. And even I'm seeing how things are expanding here. Not even for your business, for a lot of us, we've been waiting on this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Houston to be like the #1 place and everybody moving here, it's like, we already established, but we've been grinding it out for so long. To think about how long you've been doing this, and it's like, now everybody like, oh, Zuri. It's like, yeah, but Zuri been doing this for X amount of years. It took you a while to get here, but people don't know the journey.
They don't know the journey. And it actually takes a lot of confidence to do what we are trying to do. And I want to talk a little bit about confidence because confidence is one of those things that can so often be misunderstood, or it can be perceived to be braggadocious, or it can be perceived to be pretentious, right? I want to know, like, how do you define confidence? And for some of our girlies, how can you build or strengthen confidence over time? I know how I did it, but I want to get your opinion on it.
I think that situations strengthen your confidence. And confidence to me is a thing that's just saying, like, I can do all things, if I'm strengthened through Christ. So I'm a confident person because I'm a spiritual person. I know God got me in the end. So I'm always making decisions based off, like, I know this gonna work out for me. So that intimidates people too. So I think that a lot of times, like, you may be confident, but then you may walk in a room full of people that make you feel like your confidence is being, like you said, braggadocious. So now you dimming your light because you feel like, in order for me to blend in here, I can't be this. I'm gonna walk in any room the same me, no matter who's in there, where the situation is, where I'm going, I'm Rosa. And I'm gonna be confident. So for the people that I feel like, you're like, where can I find my confidence? How do I get confidence? Be yourself and be confident in being yourself.
How do you, like, overcome some of the adversities that you have experienced? Because I would imagine, like, there has been some in your journey and trying to build what you're trying to build. And I didn't say this, but your business is located, like, in Pearland, right? You have a storefront location. And I remember watching you when you first got to the location where you are now and building it, and you posting the storefront and some of the challenges that you experienced back then. How did you overcome some of that stuff? Because we have some girls who are watching, and it's like they feel like they have what it takes, but it's just challenge after challenge after challenge that's coming. Like, how did you overcome some of that stuff?
I feel like like, people ask you, like, how you do this and how you do that? It's like, you learn through experiences. So I had to go through that. I had to go through finding a business and spending all my money to get this. Nobody taught me about business credit. Nobody taught me about, a lot of people, they don't want to share. And I had to realize that it's not that they didn't want to share with me because they didn't want me to be great. Some people just don't know.
They don't know.
And you think they know because they look like they got it figured out. But a lot of people are scared to tell you, like, I don't know that. And so, in business, this is one of those things, like, first of all, adversity it's gonna come with it. If you don't want naysayers in your life, don't do anything. So
don't open a business for
I
sure.
always tell people, like, don't worry about the people on the sidelines when you win the game. They not in the game. You know, it's just like if you gambling, don't worry about the people behind the table telling you don't place your bet. They ain't got no money. They standing there watching what you doing. So you got to be okay with that. Let people say what they're gonna say. You got to have a tunnel vision. But I knew that it was going to be adversity, especially trying to do something that I felt like hasn't been done before. It's for our community. And since I have opened up the Silk Art Bar, I've seen a lot of people like, oh, I'm opening up a salon. My salon is going to be a walk-in hair salon. It's like, it's going to be thousands of them everywhere. But my vision and my goal is still going to remain the same. So the adversity, it's gonna come in Houston. When I take it to DC, it's gonna go in DC. When I take it to LA, it's gonna go to LA. And I'm gonna keep rolling with the same plan. No matter what.
So let's talk a little bit about your plan. Like, you're correct. So Houston is becoming like that place. It's becoming like everybody wants to come here, and we are seeing like new concepts pop up all of the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you started your business like some time ago, like, I'm not going to, of course, act like Houston was not a place where people were doing things. Like, they were doing things.
Right.
But I feel like I had never seen, such a niche concept like what you have at the time for women of color.
Right.
I feel like some of the blowout bars or even like some of the other niche ones, like, what is that, like, what are those bars like where they, like, dry shampoo sort of places? You kind of walk in, get the dry shampoo, like, blowout thing. I had not really seen it being pushed as heavily for women of color, right? And then you came and it's like, yeah, we specialize in blowouts and like silk presses and like these things. And I'm like, okay, look at the girls of color, like embracing like their natural hair, like giving girls the confidence to kind of wear their natural hair and do all of the things. So what made you settle on that as a business model? Like, what made you, because you're talented. I know you can do weaves. I know you can do all the things.
Yeah. So one thing I did was I always tell people, if you want to start a business, look up at least 3 to 4 businesses that's doing something similar to what you're doing or better than what you're doing. So I had looked up the blow bars, super cuts, visible changes. I looked up all these places and I figured out.
Were you here when, like, remember Super Weave Express? Like, that was like another niche.
You know what? With Joy Hunt.
Yes, with Joy.
Me and Joy did a lot of, a few, I won't say a lot. We have done some Zoom calls and I paid for a lot of things to do one-on-ones for her because a few years ago I was like, I want to talk to this lady about like how to grow my business. And thank God for her that she was even doing that at the time. I don't know if she's still doing that.
She is. She does a lot of business development.
Right.
Sort
so
of things.
I was like, I had everything she had offered 2-3 years ago. I was like already invested because I was looking for people like that to show me the ins and outs. So as soon as we talked, she was like, oh, you got to do X, Y, and Z. And so I cleaned house and redid my business. And I'm still, one thing about having a business, you're going to continuously pivot.
Evolution.
Okay, so with the Silk Out Bar, I knew that there was not a Black-owned walk-in hair salon. And first of all, to this day, there is still not a Black-owned walk-in hair salon that's franchised. You have people that are doing it and they trying to, I've seen some things where they're trying to do like a bar, like a place in Dallas, a place here and stuff like that, which is super cool. But it's crazy because we're the number one consumers to me in beauty. We spend so much money on hair. Why is there not a Black franchise for hair salons?
Right.
Like, why is it not a salon that's in Houston, that's in Chicago, that's in DC, that's in Michigan? Why? But then you can go any blow bar all over the world. That was created by 2 Canadian girls. They got like 55 locations worldwide. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Especially with us having as much consumer and buying power as what we have, right? I feel like, well, part of that is, I feel like women of color, well, I feel like Black entrepreneurs, period, but women of color, I think more specifically, like, we're definitely over-mentored and we're over-coached, but underfunded. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, like the ability to get business income and kind of implant, or some of the, I guess, societal pressures that come with being like a Black woman, because like you said, leaving Detroit was easy because it was no baggage. But I feel like there comes a point when, Black women reach a certain age and we become like the parents. We become kind of like the heads of the family. We become like all the things that I feel like prevent us from doing some of those expansion things that we probably really, truly want to do.
But the thing about that is like, Because we're going to pray that off of us.
No, you're correct. We're going to pray that off.
But the thing about it is, too, is it's a lack of discipline. And, we just weren't raised, or we didn't inherit anything as far as like credit, or we didn't get left behind money and knowledge to know what to do. So we have great ideas, and like you said, we just don't have the capital. But the thing is whenever you do give African Americans any money, we want to let everybody know we the boss. This my business. Look, I look like I got money. You know what I'm saying? Look at my car. Look at my house. It's everything about the plan. So I'm encouraging people to stick to the plan. And it's okay to have nice things. It's okay to want to be showy, because we come from where we just didn't have a lot. We wasn't privileged.
Right.
So we want those things. We want to look like we want to be included.
Right.
But it takes time. Stick to the plan. Like my plan of what I'm going to do with the Silk Bar, I'm still going to do. And it's still very much in effect. I've got a lot of doors closed in my face, but that's okay. I'm going to keep pushing. And I know that there's space for it and there's room for it. And we have to start making the conversations with each other, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're going to go with each other. They're going to have fundraiser events.
Yep.
They're going to get people to donate. They're going to open up this business. They're going to get a group of people and they're going to do this. We the only people that want to help each other.
Do all of the things. Yeah, there's a saying I was just looking at. It was like, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, go together. Yeah. So what you are saying is like so true. I think we need to just do a better job of rallying around each other and really trying to help us and kind of help push our peers, and our colleagues to just be better, expand their businesses, and do all the things. I remember seeing a couple of years ago, I forget what it's called, but in other cultures, it has a name. It's like where you get a group of your friends together. And I think every month, everybody puts like 100.
Yep.
What is that thing called? Everybody puts like $100 in the pot.
They do it like an investment.
But then every quarter or something, somebody gets the full pot of money, like to go and expand their. Remember like that type of stuff? Yeah. And I feel like we don't do a lot of those things like what other cultures tend to do.
Because we don't trust each other enough.
But how do we fix that?
Trusting each other enough.
Trusting each other, that's true. But also, too, I feel like it goes back to what you were saying at the beginning about girls like surrounding themselves with like-minded and like-ambitioned girls, too, Because I think when you surround yourself with people who are doing similar things or people who at least have similar ambition, it eliminates a lot of the mistrust, a lot of the catty, a lot of the hate, like what you're saying, because these are people who are trying to do or are doing the same things that you are already doing. And I think that that's definitely something that we have to be better about, because it's like, you have so many friends from elementary school, middle school, all these people, that these are your friends, these are your people you've been with, like, you want them around, you want to keep them around, but sometimes when you're trying to go to higher heights, you can't always do that, and it doesn't always look.
It's so funny. I just posted this on my Instagram the other day. One of my clients, her mom came and got serviced by me. And she was like, yeah, my daughter, she's been coming here for years. And I was like, yeah, that's like my favorite client. And she was like, yeah, she speaks very highly of you. And I teach my daughter not to be very much easily impressed with anybody. And she's impressed with you. And she was like, one thing I teach my kids is chickens hang with chickens. Eagles hang with eagles. Eagles fly high. Chickens and eagles, they both have feathers, but they do totally different things. A chicken has a job, but chickens never see what eagles see because they can't soar that high. So that was something that really stuck with me, because I'm like, I want to surround myself around eagles. And you got to be a strong person to be surrounded around eagles. That's why a lot of people, you're going to have an eagle and you got a boss and they want to be around all leeches because they're intimidated of sharing the light. Right. It's okay. We're going to go real far if you doing this and I'm doing that, and we're going to come back and teach each other different things. You need iron sharpens iron. So when we think about like the blow bars, the supercuts, the visible changes, it's a group of people that were invested and saw the vision through. And they was willing to say, hey, we're going to make this investment. We're going to bet on ourselves and we're going to go far together. And like you said, we need a team. We got to do it together. You can't do it by yourself.
So you're very ambitious, it's very clear. And you are a person who just exudes like confidence. Like if you are scared to make some of the decisions that you make, it's just clear that you go and you just do it anyway, right? So how do you balance like some of that ambition and success with trying to stay true to yourself though? How do you balance the two?
I don't really feel like I have any balance. I'm winging it every day because I got 20% over here trying to be a boss babe. I'm 60% trying to be the best mom. I'm trying to be a leader. I'm trying to go out and date. I'm trying to be my mom's best daughter and supportive to her. It's like we get pulled in so many different directions that balance don't really truly exist in me. I'm just doing the best I can every day.
Can with the day.
You know what I mean? But I think that ambition and it just go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like I always tell people, you may have a better skill than me, but you can't outwork me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Baby, I be working.
I like that.
I be working. People still ask me all the time, like, dang, I didn't even know you'd be here. I'm at my shop mostly every day. I tell people too, like, you open up a business because you think you're going to work less and make more. It don't work that way.
It does not work that way.
It don't work that way. I am so invested and I'm there every day setting the tone because as being a leader too, people watch what they see, not what you say. So.
Yep. And I think it's also too like the idea of, because you are that girl, training up the next group of girls to embody and do the exact same thing because people cannot be what they can't see. And somewhere it's somebody who's in your salon knowing that they can do it because you're doing it. You know, it's hard to believe or just imagine that we sometimes carry that weight on our shoulders, but it's very, very, it's true. Like people are really watching you saying, dang, like Rosa opened up this salon, like Rosa did this, like she built this, like, you know, from the ground up. Like this is something that I can do too. It's pressure because I don't always want to be a role model. And I don't always want to be the person that somebody is
but you
looking
know
up to.
But you know what? You do it so well. And it's so many of us that just adore you, just watching you, you know, be a scientist, be a business owner, be a wife, set the tone. Like you do so many things and you do it with grace and class. And we need that in our community. We need to see that because we don't get to see it every day. And I feel like that's being a role model is leading by example. Like every day, every time I see you, it's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you dress.
Thank you.
Like, so when I'm around people like that, it sets the tone. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the standard. So,
thank you. I feel the same way about you too, girl. Period. Okay, so let's get into it. So one of the common threads that I want these conversations to be about, especially with women of color, is like self-care, right? I want to talk a little bit about self-care and what are some of your best self-care practices? Because there are some people who are watching this and they have all of the things, like you said, trying to be the best daughter, trying to be the best mom, trying to be the best friend, trying to be the best wife, all the things. And what I have noticed from talking to a lot of people is that, you know, women of color, we take care of everybody else but ourselves. So give us some of your best, like, self-care that girl tips. Like, if a person is that girl, what are some things that they are doing for self-care?
And see, look, that's another thing, right? And I don't want to sound, because I'm a very selfless person, but I'm very selfish about myself. I love myself, okay?
Please help us get there.
Girl, like,
tell us what you do.
My friends, like, they be like, girl, how you be? Baby, I'm a travel. First of all, I love to travel.
Okay.
And anywhere I go, I love a spa.
Okay.
So
spa check. Is that like a monthly thing, a bi-weekly thing? You got to give us the recipe. We're looking for the recipe.
So my number one thing that I do is my son goes with his dad every other weekend.
Okay.
So I do a thing where Mondays is my day.
Every Monday?
Every other Monday.
Every other Monday is your day?
Because basically, like, when he goes with his dad, he stay there. His dad takes him to school on Monday morning. So, I mean, that I get 2 Mondays out the month where I don't have to get up at 6 a.m. Okay. So, on a Monday, I'm going out to a nice dinner. I'm going to a spa. I'm going to get my nails and toes done. And I always keep my phone. I know this is because I have a child. You know, you can do so many things to your iPhone. My phone is always on Do Not Disturb. So I don't want to answer if I don't want to answer. So I like my peace. So those are like some of the main things I do. And, you know, I'm also an audiobook girl.
Okay, so you're an audiobook girl.
I'm an audiobook girl. I love to listen to, like, great things all day. One of my favorite things I've been listening to for probably, like, the past year is Grant Cardone, 100 Ways to Get and Stay Motivated.
Okay, there we go, y'all. 100 Ways to Get and Stay Motivated.
That's my favorite thing to listen to. In a car, I've given up kind of music. I don't really listen to a lot of music no more. I'm going to listen to my audiobooks. And I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to get my nails and toes done. I'm always eating well. Baby. Okay? And this is so funny. I do everything alone.
It's fun, though. No, going places by yourself is fun.
I don't want nobody, like, watching me or nothing. Like, I shop alone and everything. Like, my friends were like, oh, you want to go to Walmart? I'm like, mm-mm.
So are you dating? Are you telling the truth?
I am telling the truth. Honestly, because if you watching this ain't about that.
No, I just want to know. I just want to know, like a person, like I'm just saying, like
honestly,
you are that
so
girl
this
somewhere.
another thing
like,
too. Like this may not be a good thing, but I am a serial dater.
Okay, that's good. I think that's good.
I love dating.
Okay, so you are dating somebody's.
Yeah, all the time. I love that for me.
I love that for you too.
Because you know what? I was in a really toxic relationship a few years ago. And so I've been like by myself for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. It'll be 3 years in January that I've been alone.
Okay.
And I've accomplished so much being alone. But one of the things that I pray about all the time is like not letting my heart turn cold from disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm a lover girl. Like I love love, you know, and I'm always open to love because I feel like it's only so much success you can chase. Like we here to, you know, reproduce and to build families, and I want that for me. But until that happens, I'll be dating.
So what's your best piece of dating advice?
Always have expectations.
Okay.
And excitement.
Okay. What are some of your expectations?
First of all, I don't date anybody I can't pray with. That's some of the first conversations I have with a man is, do he believe in God? It's so funny. Y'all need to start asking people that because a lot of these men do not believe in God and they do not go to church.
That is true.
It's
That
crazy.
is true. That's true. I will be honest. I feel like with this, like, I won't even call it new generation, but I feel like, I don't know if people are like much more liberated to talk about those things and be honest about how they feel. But I do hear people are straight flat out tell you, I don't believe in God. I don't go to church. And that's kind of like a new thing. I'm like, we didn't used to just be so forthright with that, but they will tell you if you ask.
So the reason why I say always have expectation and have excitement, because my pastor talks about that all the time. I feel like we have lowered our standards and we've lost expectations. So people are like, girl, you can't have no expectations, people, because you never know. I'm like, that's how y'all moving out here. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't have no expectations. So people just willing to come in your life with no boundaries or nothing. So I always have expectation and excitement. So one of the things my dating advice is date people. Don't date a person for potential. Because who somebody can potentially be will never happen. Okay. When you dating someone, take them for who they are and for what you see. You know? And don't just, he said he gonna do this. Watch what people do. You know?
With a person, like with your amount of confidence, with the amount of success that you have accomplished, do you find finding that guy to be difficult?
Yeah, because a lot of strong Black women, you know, we can be intimidating. But I'm saying this because I be watching all these like podcasts. I'm like, well, look at us looking at all these single people that's not married tell us how to be good women. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where we got to learn ourselves and we got to unlearn a lot of behaviors in our lives and things that we've seen and I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for everybody. So I don't come from a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what, you know, a great marriage is. I don't really know what strong relationships are, you know, when it comes to a man and a woman, because I just wasn't raised in those environments. Right. So I'm learning a lot of things for the first time. You know what I mean? I'm learning how to be feminine. I'm learning how to be submissive. I'm learning and with all these things I'm providing for myself, it's like, it's a lot for a man to come and approach you, and I'm 32 years old, to be like, oh, I gotta make 6 figures. So that takes the dating pool down. Because do you want a man that's making 6 figures? What if the man doesn't make 6 figures, but he treats you very well and he has a stable career? What are the things that you want that you can, you know, that's doable for you? And for a man, is it space for a man in your life in that way, in that capacity? Right. So dating has changed.
So what is the dating pool like in Houston? I heard it was trash.
It's terrible. It is terrible, but you know what? It is what it is. We got to work with what we got. You know.
Do you like non-Black men?
I haven't dated a man that's not Black.
Would you try it?
Probably not.
Okay. I like that answer. I'm just asking. I'm not judging, but I'm asking.
You can't use it for us to come. Don't bring on home type of vibes. Like, no, no, you know what? I want a Black man. Okay, I love me a Black man.
I'm just asking.
I'm raising a Black man.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just trying to see where you're headed.
Because I'm not you know, but baby, come on now.
Oh no, I understand. I was just
wouldn't think a Black man can handle me.
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to see what's going on. I'm just trying to see who you dating, what it's looking like, what's going
And
on.
one of the things about me too is I like experiences. As soon as I date somebody off the rip, if I know you can't give me no experiences, it ain't gonna work at all.
That's good. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
I like that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know what you want. The good thing about dating, though, is that I feel like it teaches you what you want, because otherwise you would never even know what it is that you want, that you like.
And
you wouldn't even know who you like.
And you gotta be quiet when you dating. You can't be telling people your business. I be dating, and I don't be telling my friends, be like, girl, where you? I'm like, why are you asking me?
Yeah, in my business. Don't even tell nobody about it until you know it's serious.
Girl, and I be gone. My friends, they literally crack up about me all the time. They be like, girl, you are a joke. I be like, girl, we be like, where you at? I be like, girl, I'm in Jamaica. Who you in Jamaica with?
You went in Jamaica? Yeah.
Baby.
He asked. You
I'm
went.
gone.
Yes.
I be like, I'm about to get up out of here. I don't care. Because I want to live my life. You know, the only thing promised to us is death. I want to be gone. I want to have experience. I want to see the world. And I do want to be married because I'm definitely somebody's wife. But am I a wife right now? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. And men have an opinion too. We be out here dating, talking about that he got this, and this, and half the time we don't even be knowing if we meet.
Yeah, and I feel like you're gonna know.
We care.
You're gonna walk into a season in your life where you just gonna know, like, when it's time. You're so silly. So not that we care. You know what? You know what? We care. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like liking somebody too. Because I be like, oh, I like him.
Because they need to like us too.
I be like, he the one. And my friend be like, that's what you said last time. I'm like, but this time I'm serious.
Yeah, every time.
And then something happened. I be like, man, he ain't the one. I'm like, I'm over it. Because it take nothing for us to just be off somebody.
Yeah, you know? I know. That's bad. That's really bad.
How long have you been with the guy you've been with?
Like 10 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Do you get tired of him?
You get on your nerves?
Let me see. Will you wake up every day to the same person for 10 years? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Right? Listen, this is not about a him. Right? It's not about him. I think it's about relationships in general. This is what I always tell myself. Is that, like, I look at a lot of people who've been like together, married 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50, 60 years. It would be unreasonable to assume that it was not some years, some days, some months where you may not have fully liked that person the same. Right? Imagine, right, if we want to live to be married like 50 years, all of the different range of emotions that you may go through with a person. That's life. Because when I think about relationships, it really and truly is two dysfunctional people in their own right trying to come together and exist in dysfunction with somebody else. Yeah. So like every conversation you have, every outing you go on, everything, it is really me and all my baggage, you and all your baggage, and we are trying to learn to be nice and kind and live with each other. And you don't always wake up loving and liking. Like a lot of work. You don't always wake up loving and liking a person the exact same. I don't think you do. I think that relationships are about cycles. There's some cycles where you hear, it's some cycles where you hear, and then it's some like where you fall somewhere like in between. So that's how I feel about relationships in general. You know, like it's not always like an easy thing. No. It's not always like a perfect thing. Like, no. Relationships, they definitely go through cycles. You have better years than others. You have better months than others. But it is, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel like one day I'm going to meet, like, and I'm also like, God, please work on me. Because I'm a bit shallow a little bit.
But no, it's fun. You know, the thing about that is that I definitely feel like there is a person out there for everybody. And what I will say is that I feel like my partner, like I feel like my boyfriend is for me. So a lot of the things that somebody else may take to be like negative connotations, like you said, like, oh, I'm a bit shallow, I'm some of these things, that don't matter. There is a person for you. Like, it truly does not matter. And I really and truly feel like my boyfriend is the person for me. Even with all of those kind of quirks and things. I know, right?
I speak to existence.
You're right. Even with all those quirks and all of those things, like I feel like he is the person.
That's your person.
For me. I do. I really do think that.
Yeah. I know I have a person, but right now, and honestly too, this is a great conversation, right? Because this is necessary. What makes dating so hard is If I have expectation and every other woman you dated had no expectation. And so for me too, it's like, cause people, it's this whole narrative of like, oh, if you a boss, if you that girl, then it's like, y'all don't know how to be quiet and y'all don't know how to let a man lead. And y'all be thinking this, and that's why men don't be wanting to date boss girls because y'all don't know how to, it's like, it's not even that. What I think is like, we just come from a place of trauma where we don't trust in men anymore to lead us. And then they're dating all these other different women, and these women don't have no expectation, no boundaries, no nothing.
So it's like we bear the consequence like of all of that.
Yeah, I be telling my friend, we just had a conversation, and I was telling her, like, girl, we be moving so fast with nothing. A man don't really have to show you anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you used to be able to, like, somebody had to come and bring you flowers and open up the door for you. They thought they had to impress you. Now, I watch people, he walking in, he ain't got your dough, he ain't brought you no flowers. Nah, I call you, girl, you just met him 2 weeks later, y'all, you done spent the night. You know, it's like, we have to change it.
We have to change that.
We have to change that. Yeah.
And the thing is that what I do feel like about that is that a lot of times like we're scared to put a standard in place because we feel like they'll move on or they'll find somebody else. But I honestly feel like men appreciate that.
Girl, somebody just texted me today like, hey, are you free? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to do a podcast. And then he was like, oh, I would really love to take you out. I said, I hate texting. I hope this don't sound like bad through text, but I'm like, you don't have good intentions with me. So, and he wrote me back like, oh yeah, I do. I want you to be my wife. Girl, I laughed so hard. I said, and that's what I don't like. How you think I'm your wife and you ain't never even took me out on a date?
Exactly. How do you even think
that?
But
It's so funny to me because women be so desperate.
Yeah,
that somebody
will be happy about that. Oh, he think I'm his wife.
Girl.
Y'all never went nowhere together. How do you think that? How do you now? Even though you are good, great, and beautiful, but how he know you wifey material? He talking about you his wife already
because they think you their wife because they like what they see on Instagram. Men are visual. And we are more emotional. Like, we are people like, you got to get to know somebody to like him. He don't got to get to know you. Like, he like what he see.
Yeah, they like
they visual. They like what you look. It's so many men that you don't even know me.
And I think that's why it's so important for us to kind of begin to embody some of those confidence building characteristics like outside of men, right? Like all of the things that it truly takes to be considered to be that girl, all those things, like we have to really build those things up in ourselves and not necessarily look for external validation from men. So if there were 3 things before we wrap up that you can tell the girlies watching, like these are like 3 things that they can start to do to build some of their that girl persona, what would those 3 things be?
The first thing I would say is get in solitude.
Okay.
Which is get some me time, some alone time. We need to figure out who we are, what our vision is. That's the first thing. The second thing is learn to be disciplined. Because we living in a place where it's a lot of worldly things and a lot of us are easily distracted, so we can't see the vision through. So learn some discipline. And then the last thing is changing your heart posture, making sure that you surround yourself around people who can teach you things, being a person that's inclusive. So you got even today, like this kind of made my day because you are somebody I'm inspired by, and we need to stick and stay close to people that can teach us things and rub shoulders with people who we look up to, so that find you a community that you can join and you can be beneficial and get some things in return as well, Right. So those are my 3.
So thank you. And what I like about everything that you said is that it focused on, not like materialistic things, right? Like not the way you look, but truly self-reflection, self-building, and also like building up other people.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure to have you on. You are like so everything to me.
Thank you.
Let them know what your social media is, that they can follow you on social media, y'all. Y'all have got to patronize the Silk Out Bar. Let them know how they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at the Silk Out Bar _. We're located in Pearland. We're on Broadway Street. And so we take walk-ins every single day that we're open, Tuesday through Saturday, open to close, no matter what. And my personal Instagram is RMC, so follow me on there. And thank you for having me.
Right. Okay, I should have did this before. Okay, let me ask you 3 like rapid fire questions because now I'm interested.
Okay.
Answer these really, really fast. Like, what's your favorite food?
Chicken.
Tall guys or short guys?
Tall.
tall. And what's your favorite hairstyle?
My favorite hairstyle is a side part. Okay.
Are bossy.
A
That
side
is
part.
so true.
I love a side part because once the side part gets old, you can pin it up. You know that middle
That's
part, you
true.
can't really do it
No,
long.
you cannot. You
Once it
cannot.
start getting old,
Once
it's time
it's
to take it
done,
out.
it's done.
Okay, so I'm a side part girly.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of Beauty and Brains with Dr. Zuri Dale. This is Rosa, that girl teaching us all about what it means to embody and exude confidence, inclusivity, and just being all around a girl's girl. And that is it.